All right, mic check. His sound should still be on, so we have a second of double sound. Hello, welcome. This is the voice of EarlvonVummer. This is a mod challenge for DDR Jake to play Perfect Dark and earn a mod ship on his channel. We will be playing through the entirety of Perfect Dark on Perfect Agent with a 4.5 hour time limit. No out of bounds or cheats are allowed, and we must play with a single analog controller. We have to do it while hosted on Jake's channel, and we have to narrate it as we go along. We are not a professional streaming setup here by any means, so mostly you'll get me making weird noises and easing up as we move along into the actual run and explaining things more, but let's go ahead and get set up. We're just doing some warm-ups on a lot of the fun levels in this game, as most people have heard of this game. I played this game growing up. And let's see, so we have the game up, we have the timer up. I think we have everything else set up. I have my eye on Jake's chat to watch hers. Excuse me, I have my eye on DDR Jake's chat, so I'll be watching that. But, oh, is it still on stream? I'm going to just go ahead and remove that. Yeah. We'll just go ahead and remove that and stick to... There we go. We'll see the good luck wishes later. We don't need the distractions. Thank you for the good luck. So, barring anything else, I think I'll give you a countdown and get ready to go. All right. On go. 3, 2, 1, go. No. Had to engage the global timers. You've cheated, I think, like a whole second. So, this game is very fun. It's a good shooter. It is the successor to GoldenEye 2.0. And it is also very difficult. You will see us employ some speedrunning strats here and there, but for the most part, you will see us running through what we call a bit of a slower style. There's lots of tech in this game, and were we using dual analogs or even, a keyboard and mouse, this would be a lot easier. However, we're using a single analog controller. The aim is poor at best, really bad at worst, and we got a lot of nerves, so we're going to take things probably nice and slow as we move through these missions. The first 5 missions are what we've probably called the fun missions, the missions everyone remembers. Does pretty well in, and then you get to Area 51 and the game stops being so fun. In regards to the enemies start getting a bit better. We lose access to the CMP 150, which lets us auto aim on all these different things, and it only gets harder from there. I did finish my homework assignment. I did watch all of DDR Jake's run. And we'll be running into a lot of the same problems that he did. Because this game is quite hard. Including this bit here, where we sort of hope that the guards just aren't there and don't want to bother with us on this upper floor. but they can sometimes be a little annoying and standing right outside the door. Where that guy sees us, and he immediately triggers that guy, who spawns in there. You didn't even look behind you. It should be L4. We have to stay in some proximity to this guy in order for him to actually move. There's a camera around the corner. So we give him about 2 seconds to move around before we move past it. But we shouldn't be triggering any more guards on this floor while he goes in and does whatever he does on the computer. This is the only data uplink moment in the game that you can actually switch away from the data uplink while it is going on and do something else. Grab the other one. And now we take one of these elevators down to the ground floor and begin the hard combat section of this level, which involves fighting a whole bunch of Data Dine shock troopers. Who are the guys with helmets. You didn't memorize, I think, like every single multiplayer model in I don't know, when did we play this? Did you switch it up? Yeah. So we switched to the CMP at this point, which has this handy dandy follow auto aim feature, allowing us to basically run the cursor over an enemy, set a lock on them, and have the gun pretty much auto aim for us, which is very helpful with the poor aiming scheme of this game. The other thing you just saw us take advantage of there is guards cannot shoot through other guards in this game, so they will body block each other. Got one more room with the guard on the left. And first level done. Just over 5 minutes, not too bad. We'll be skipping most of the cutscenes, the deep, rich lore of this game. He's already gonna. Yep. There's a very tight cycle to make at the start of this level. We have about 20 seconds to get over, and I think you've missed it, so you'll have to. Nope, got it first try. That bot opens the door, and it only opens for the maintenance bot. I think you're going to be off for the laser cycle, but that's fine. So we reprogrammed those bots, and now move through this hallway going in this direction, which is a little bit better than going through it the other direction where most of the guards are obscured behind the crates, but they are mostly in what we call a firing stance, where they are prepped and ready to shoot us. You saw him drop down to one knee there. But because we took this way, we now have to firefight with these 4 guards. The alternative strategy, if you miss the first is if you miss that first 20 or so second cycle, is you step into the other room and start fighting these 4 guards here. I think we'll switch over to the CMP at this point. You got, yeah. I think he came in from the hallway. But now we'll be moving through and completing some objectives in the rest of the map. Back to the Falcon 2. As we open this maintenance hatch to get down here. And we need to pick up this man's gun. which is the case of an Avenger, and is the bane of our existence throughout this entire run. Later guards will be equipped with this weapon, which does a lot of damage. It is very punishing to get hit by. When you shoot him, the next guard should come out. And the second guy does not like to come out when the first guy comes out and likes to surprise you. So now we'll move through these lab areas, hopefully as fast as possible, trying to make a cycle that the cleaning robots... sorry, should have explained that at the start. I have a genetic predisposition that whenever someone's talking, either in game or whatever, I tend to stop talking. And I have a bad habit of making TV face where if there's action going on, I tend to just stop and watch it because, I don't know, pre-programmed or something like that. But we don't miss those shots. You saw that second guard was crouching down into a firing stance and getting ready to shoot us, which is quite annoying because they will shoot pretty much instantaneously and just take off chunks of health, which isn't great. It is usually what will stop you in these missions is getting dinged once or twice by this guard or that guard. We get him to pull the plug while we go over and say hi to our friend. Hello, friend. And then we play the lottery with those ones. Because that guy, or that scientist, give yourself a, we double check to make sure the experiment 3 is actually complete there. The alarm doesn't really do anything that much. I think you missed it, so I think you're gonna have to. Nice roll. I think you have to wait for it to come back. So yes, we missed the perfect cycle. For the cleaning bots, we have to wait for it to come all the way back. And in the meantime, the alarm usually spawns one guard back there, so we just double check while we're waiting. But we should make it through these lasers at about 5:45 minutes. You can see the mission timer in the bottom left there, which is pretty helpful. I'm keeping somewhat of an eye, I'm sorry. I have nerves too. But now we just do a little bit of wait. We can sidestep idly. There's not much to do. It's just a hurry up and wait segment of the game. Oh, Jake inspired us to do a mod challenge on My Perfect Dark. So, Baron Von Pone absolutely smashing his mod challenge, which I don't know the game. I don't know which game he did. 3 is all I'm getting. Him absolutely smashing his mod challenge convinced us to try. We were concerned for a long while because of the narration requirement of the mod challenges. These guys have dragons, which are substantially better guns, and then as soon as we touch this console here, guards will spawn behind us. So we throw one of the dragons out, using its proximity mine feature to blow them up behind us. His absolutely smashing of his mod challenge made us have renewed determination to actually do a mod challenge. And looking through the games on the mod list, Perfect Dark is the one that we thought we could do. Probably. This slide, yep. Mainly because it was a game that both of us had played extensively in our youth. Remembered, some of the missions here and there, and felt it was something we could practice. Barring that, the requirement of a single analog controller held us back for a bit. Because we only have, I think, like an Xbox One X, one of the Xboxes, I don't know. One of those controllers floating around other than like a generic USB controller. Swap to, yep. So there are auto turrets here that we don't want to get hit by. Well done. And we're pansies and we take out this last auto turret just because we don't want to get hit by it. And about 8 minutes, yep, right on time. That's the second mission done, where we have rescued Dr. Carroll, who is a floating computer. You'll see him behind us. He'll probably get killed at some point, which is annoying. But now we're trying to escape the Dine facility, and they've turned out the lights on us. We have to move through this area with the night vision on, which involves impeccable aim, obviously, as we try to snipe these guys in the head and move through. There's a little bit of a trick to this. If you look down at the bottom of the screen, there's a timer counting down from 1 minute, and that is when the lights will come back on. If all the guards down here are dead when that, or before that timer expires, it will actually spawn an additional guard with the key to Cassandra's office, which is kind of ironically bad for us because it means we have to take him out. So we usually wait for the timer to come out and then swing around to try and make this guy miss. And that leaves us timed perfectly to actually get in the elevator and leave that's Dr. Carroll behind. We prefer to stream on the other channel just for personal reasons, Deathhead. I think the one I'm allowed to, the other guard would be right here. The reason I was given was we are terrified of affiliate status. There's a gunship outside that's trying to kill us. It's very scary, but its damage is mostly superficial. You can pick up a shotgun. So you'll see us take a bunch of hits here, but taking relatively little damage. But we had to touch a computer there in order to activate this elevator here, which will get us up to the next floor, where we will pull the same trick that you glimpse downstairs, where we peek around this corner, and because these guards are in firing stances, they will immediately shoot and go through their firing cycle, allowing us to pass by before we get in here. Open the store, shoot this, 7 shots. All of the bodyguards must die, so we have to make sure that they die, not do a repeat of, is it practice 2 or 3, where we accidentally left one of them alive. So shoot out that window, and now we're going to complete objective 3, hopefully at this point, where we wait for the gunship to come around. We're listening. There it is. Shoot the rocket at it. Cross your fingers in hopes it hits, which is done, and we move up to the scariest and final part of this mission, which is facing Cassandra's bodyguards, where we take a bit of a pansy route. We target this guard, and then duck into this corner as the lights go out, and we inch our way around, because these bodyguards are turrets. They will not shoot, or excuse me, they will not move, but they are dangerous enough to hit you, do lots of damage, but the most dangerous thing they'll do is they'll push you with their shots, and they can push you into sight of the other guards, who will then immediately shoot you again. But easily done. That's objective 4 done. We need to reload, take off the night vision, and we climb this thing to the helipad quickly, but making sure not to fall off. And that's the third mission done out of data Dine extraction, and moving on to the fourth mission, Carrington Villa. Where, if you've seen Jake's run at any point soon, N64 emulation has come, I guess, some way and some time. We no longer have trippy skyboxes, which is nice. So Carrington Villa is relatively fast-paced, but pretty fun and straightforward. Move around the villa, kill all the guards, and then move into the crawl downstairs. You'll see other runners who are much better than us will do this much faster. We take a relatively slow route where we go upstairs first and kill all the guards on the way to the hacker room, so that when we activate the power downstairs, all we have to do is run up to the hacker rooms and kill them, which is slower, but relatively safer. So you pulled him down, so he's going to come down when you come back down. But it's a bit problematic at this point because a lot of the guards tend to get stuck on that balcony upstairs, which is relatively annoying. We should have pulled 2, I think. There's about 6, 7, 8 guards. There's a lot of guards around here. So yes, you could hear him off to the right there. But now we've pulled the other 2 guards from the back of this room who should be coming up. Or just one. You got him from the left. Well done. And at this point, we will also take care of the rest of the snipers. Where you can just see this guy's head, target him, step out and kill him. However, that usually aggroes the other snipers to make sure. You have to make sure to get back inside relatively quickly. There's one sniper out here, but we're mostly worried about the 2 guards that are also out there as well. Sometimes they aggro, sometimes they don't. I heard one shot. But that's the rest of the snipers, which is an important thing to remember to do. I heard the other word. I think he's going to come in from the double doors. There's, yes, this regular guard can sometimes trigger. I think he's down in the courtyard. But having cleared the rest of the way, we try to move as quickly as possible down to the basement, where we take out this guard right in front of us. He triggered the guard, I think, down at the bottom of the stairs. If he moves too far forward, he'll do that. But there's sort of a chain here, where if that first guard moves too far forward, he'll trigger the second guard. But if he doesn't, then the second guard... I was wondering when you're going to shoot him or not. This guy should be dancing. Dancing is what we've referred to as the guards can't see us and there's something wrong with their pathing. So they just start kneeling, trying to get into a firing solution, but it's not working correctly. So they end up just kneeling continually. We move quickly around that first guard, because these guards still follow GoldenEye patterns, where once they actually kneel down or extend their arm, they have relatively limited cone sweep. I have no idea where he came from. This is your friendly reminder to change your password, as well as enable 2-factor authentication in all your passwords. Although if they have physical access to your device, then you can sort of assume that it has been compromised. But sanity check for 4. Yes. There's a 4th objective on this map, which is capture a data Dine guard, which we usually complete completely incidentally on the dock. They just want you to knock out one data Dine guard. There's a man right in front who will usually try to shoot us, as they tend to do. This part can be relatively easy or relatively hard, depending on what the guards like to do. They will sometimes kneel down behind the wine cellars, basically rendering them. You have plenty of health, you're fine. Last guy. We have a slight history of East terminating. What are you doing? What are you doing? Is he bugged? He's just bugged. He would do this. He would do this. Door opens outward. Door opens outward. But that is Carrington Villas. He did it again. We're supposed to wait for the, there's a purple car that comes through. We were supposed to wait to get to a certain place, but we forget every single time. So let's just see, yep. We're particularly interested in the guys in trench coats. He's fighting. They will call, excuse me, they will sound the alarm. They give one more. No? Okay. They will sound the alarm because they're FBI agents, because we're in Chicago. And everyone knows in Chicago there are just FBI agents all over the place. He's just on the thing. You're gonna have to kill him though. Max your aim. He's dead, yep. Let's send him out. So, there is an alternative method to complete part of this level where normally you reprogram the taxi. But if you break open that dumpster that we blew up, you can get what's called a bomb spy. Which I think it's the only one in the game. Which will let you, are you gonna, nope, he's shooting. Which will let you run it to the end there, all of the guards will gather around it, and then you can explode it to complete Objective 4. Elliot Ness has returned with his untouchables for you. I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means? There is, we think, an unfortunate side effect in that we believe it makes this bot do 2 back and forths in front of the building, which unfortunately delays us from running into the sewer here to grab our equipment, and makes us have to do this a bit faster. Before it comes back, we make sure to plant our remote mine on the bottom door for the next level, because this game was very ahead of its time, and the things you do in previous missions affect the next missions. But that is Chicago done. I think Jake did it much faster. He ran into the sewer. Did everything there. This is everyone's favorite level. He went left. Because of these. If you've ever played Borderlands 2. Very nice. No health. There's a sign. I forget where it is. But all it says is invisible assholes, and that is this mission. Is 6 invisible assholes. Pardon my French. Control, alright? We stand in this corner to try and force them into certain positions. I saw them. One will always run to the door. A second one will always be over there. And the other two will always be stuck in that corner somewhere. Hold down, switch. Yep. We switch to the CMP 150 at this point because there are... The guards in this room will try to set off the alarm. And we've had more failures due to the triggering of the alarm than we have to being shot to death. So we try to avoid that as all possible. We have to remember not to forget to do this part, as well as not blow up the computer. These guards take cover behind these pillars, and this guard in particular doesn't come out, and that computer is mission critical, so we have to make sure not to blow it up. Ammo is relatively unimportant at this time. We can mostly spray and pray. Switch back. So we switch off this laser grid, which allows us to crawl through the vents because the door at the end of this room is locked and there's no way to open it, barring having one of the guards open it, but we need to be up here in order to complete one of the other objectives, so gotta do it anyway. You wait for the door to close. That's fine. Perfectly timed. So we're going to do a little trick here. We will activate the cam spy, move it forward, and leave it there. And yes, just switch back. Yes. Because that guy tries to activate the alarm as well. There's a guy at the top of the stairs. The second patrol guy, unless he just doesn't show up. He just didn't show up. One more. So, we left the cam spy back there because now we can do a little trick where we are supposed to be waiting for a minute, but the cutscene lasts longer than a minute, so we're just going to activate the cutscene and let that be our timer. While they have a meeting while the alarm's going off.
This will reduce its efficiency. The team will have to take it to the core themselves. This will endanger them.
We're waiting for a certain line where Trent, he's the guy in red, will come down and start talking about a tissue sample. And it's either 10 seconds after that or before that. Because he'll say that line and then the vault door opens pretty slowly. So we need to give it some additional time for it to be actually open enough for us to get in there quickly, grab Dr. Carroll's backup, and then get out. Oh yes, the tall blonde man is creatively named Mr. Blonde. All I need from the president is a tissue sample. So the vault door is open. We equip our remote mine. We detonate the remote mine. We open the door. There's a bunch of guys who don't want us to get out, but we just run by them and end the mission. And that's the end of the fun missions of the game. Now we get into the, pardon my French, again, bull crap, starting with Area 51. This is the first cutscene, I guess, manipulation we'll be doing, where we need to wait a couple seconds. He's going to shoot you. He's going to shoot you. Hold on. We need to wait a couple seconds for that first guard to actually move beyond our range of vision so he doesn't immediately alert. And I think probably everyone who's ever played these games remembers these turrets and how awful they are. Someone who's actually good, like an actual speedrunner that we base most of these runs off of, can run right by them, but we're a bit of a pansy squad here. and we kill them, which can be a bit difficult because as soon as they see you or they have a firing solution on you, they will turn and try to kill you. You have to be a bit careful. Got him. We throw a grenade over that fence to kill the guy who has the lift key card, and destroy that robot interceptor, allowing us to bypass having to go in there at the start. Don't go too far. We've blown ourselves up on a mine several times there. But there's a guy missing here. Where is he? Is that him? Is he alerted? He is. This part is a little bit difficult. The guards spawn kind of strangely here. They spawn in those corners on either side of this tunnel. And so we kind of have to wait. Like there's another one over on the right there. But we have to be careful because there's another turret. Try to get him with a grenade. There's another turret on our left here that will instantly start shooting us. It doesn't have much room for error in order to actually shoot it back. This will probably also pull the first wave of guards over. You see there's a guard in the corner here, as well as that man. But the guard pathing at this point is bugged. Not bugged, but very strange in that they go only to certain points and do certain things, kind of. It's very strange. Like, they like to hide behind that pillar right there, and for some reason they will only come out on one side of the Area 51 sign where the turret was. We use our rocket to destroy. He's still behind there.
There's the antenna. But I can't throw a bug that high.
There's also, unfortunately, not strange, but annoying, is if you get close to one of those pits on the side of those. I'm not describing that well at all. Either one of those pits where the turret was. Joanna's aim will go absolutely ballistic and will pull down very sharply, which is annoying. We take out the rest of the robot interceptors. And we grab the double mag sec from the, what do you want to call them? The guards who will have super dragons in the next mission before heading back. And these two guys are gods. If they shoot at you, it is like a 95% chance they will hit you. We have no idea why. So you just have to kill them before they start shooting you. There's a speed running trick you can do there where you actually equip a grenade and bounce it up that ramp, but we could never actually get it to work, so avoided it. Very nice. That guard always runs, which is rather annoying because he'll go around that corner where that auto turret is to try and make you shoot him. This guard over here does relatively the same thing. But it's just to try and make you chase him into those auto turrets you could just see over there. So now we'll head downstairs to do two things. We first throw a grenade over here to set off the alarm and destroy most of the lasers. Excuse me. Did you do it again? You did it again. This happened during the last practice where the grenade went off, but we didn't blow anything up, but it still spawned those two guards, and they came in and shot us. We'll throw another one. We get the server. There we go. So that sets off the alarm, which spawns. It should be two dragon guards. He's stuck on the ladder, I think. And we double check and clear this last laser. Except the mag secs are absolutely awful at accuracy. But then stick our explosives on this console, which starts a 20-second timer, but we're already out of there. We take this closer lift, even though it has guards, because we want a bit more dragon ammo, as well as they're usually surprised. Grab all of their ammo, equip the dragon, crouch down, and prepare to shoot these guards, one of whom usually runs into a corner. He's gonna throw it. It's fine. We throw out our dragon to act as a proximity mine and hopefully get one and or two of them. The guard usually always throws a grenade, but the door usually closes before it happens. Oh, there we go. So we're now in the hangar. There are two guards here. We go here and crouch or move over using the C buttons on our genuine Nintendo controller to take out that guard who always crouches. There's another guard at the top of the stairs. Try to conserve as much ammo as possible with the dragon, as we'll be using it for the rest of the run. Before we move up here, there's one guard who is always programmed to try and stop there, to throw a grenade. He did not get it, but we think it's every single guard has it in turn to stop there and throw a grenade, which is rather annoying. And you have to make sure you kill them all. But we will move down into the final room. We set up in the elevator, pointed right here. There's two guards in front of us that we will hope not body block each other. Got his gun. Grab their guns, make sure we're reloaded, because now we enter the final sprint where we'll turn and just unload on this guy, hoping to hit him. Doesn't matter. Move, run, and get into the store to exit the level before those guys can catch on to us. And now the best cutscene in the game with the worst character in the game, Jonathan, where we are waiting for an audio cue to try and catch the first elevator. This first bit of the level is a speedrun strat that sometimes works, kind of works. But there's a lot of guards in this room, and we don't really want to fight all of them. We would rather they just exploded. So when this trick works, it works really well. That was the audio cue in that crate. You can see the elevator opening. We grab the crate because it helps us move faster. He's terminating. Just get around the wall. But you can grab it. That's fine. Just close the door. There are 3 guards upstairs in total, who are actually at the top of the stairs. The rest have to come up the elevator, and guards really struggle in this game with the automatically opening doors. Oh dear. They're not going to get that. Let's run out. Just throw it. But as you can sort of tell, this part can and does go pretty horribly wrong. For example, there's that last guard who is going to tag us for our first death, but that's fine. It's usually where we have a couple deaths. We get to listen to this great cutscene over and over again.
problem you have is that there is no way to sneak into the research section.
Jonathan is just absolutely god awful.
It can be destroyed with explosives.
He won't really come into play until the next mission, where he is forced to survive in that crate. But his AI is pretty awful. It's not entirely like his pathfinding or anything. Well, it is kind of his pathfinding. Got him. He's going to the... No. Need to throw it. There's a... If you call the elevator and it comes down but then immediately goes back up, you've done it correct as far as we can tell. Or you've done this part of it correct, because they should all be there. However, there can sometimes be a straggler who is always sitting right in the where she's pointing right now, at that V, where it is impossible for us to shoot them. However, that is not solid terrain for them, so they can shoot us through that. So instead of fiddling with the crate of explosives, we throw out a dragon as a proximity mine and use its secondary function, or using its secondary function, to blow open the wall, which is much easier. And we go into the actual lab portion of this level, which is rather extensive, long, and dangerous. But it does finally give us access to the Super Dragon, which is fun. There are, we think, a number of points that just spawn enemies behind you during this section. One of them is supposed to be entering the room. One of them is supposed to be raising objective 2 here. I think that was just closing. And one is the actual completion of the objective, we think. But surprise, there are aliens in this game. We'll now be doing a bit of cleanup behind us. As those guards that we skipped earlier come in. And then we'll be doing a little bit of prep work because we won't forget this time. There are 2 labs in here, the 2 autopsy labs. We check outside here to make sure that there are no more regular guards coming before we move up these stairs. Eliminate that guard. There are 2 guards. He's not going to pull him now. There's that patrolling guard, but there are also 2 guards on either side here that I think sometimes get pulled. Never bounced that one before. And now we're going to do a less optimal strat. If you're familiar with this level, you'll know that we'll need to go to the locker room and grab some lab clothes. But that will start a timer of 1 minute and 30 seconds to make it to the autopsy room before the deception is discovered. Oop. Oh, you hit the first one, but I don't know where the second one came from. But that's just this level. Is a lot of running around.
The problem you have is that there is no way to sneak into the research section. The only way in available to you is a weak section of wall like marked in the room beyond the stores. It can be destroyed with explosives.
Doesn't sound like a problem to me. Where are these explosives?
In that crate.
Saving Elvis is definitely not worth it. You doing good on health? So, yes, here. This is a good example. It should go straight back up. And that is one of our pretty good indications that we have done the trick correctly. Or rather, the strategy correctly. And we should get all of the top guards with that explosion. I only see 2. Yeah. So we will instead delay as they send the elevator back up. But that does force us to do a bit of combat with the graining guards behind us. But it wouldn't be too bad. Did he? Oh dear. Yes. So. Oof. No, no, no. Well. It was going well. This is a rather lengthy level with a lot of guards. Health is relatively important. We try to lose as little as possible. There's not usually much danger once you get to the labs, but it is long. And there are just a lot of them. Who had a grenade? This scanner is annoying because you have to actually move to trigger the actual acquisition of the alien body for some reason. There shouldn't be anyone following you, and you did forget last time, so don't forget this time. This lab on the left here, that door that just opened, is the lab we'll go into. Check first, yeah. This is the lab we'll be returning to first with the lab clothes, and we'll have to exit it later. So we usually try to clear these 2 guards if they don't start running around everywhere, and that just makes it easier to get out of when the time comes. I saw your life flash before your eyes. So we'll hack this again, which is the only way to actually get that door to the room that we were shooting in open. Forces these doors to open and close at random, which is the reason why check left for that guy again, because I don't know why he was there before, but... but shooting a grenade at this door is a dangerous proposition, given that it is randomly opening and closing. So if you're, for instance, standing much too close to it, you'll blow yourself up, kid. This is another little trick. If you shoot while you're next to this door, it will attract this guy's attention. And he will run and open that door, and you don't have to actually go through the vent part of this level. But now it's a bit of RNG as to where the lab clothes actually are. But we blow ourselves up. There's usually 1 or 2 guards that come in. 4 guards that time. Bad luck. There's usually 1 or 2 guards that come in after us, and we try to deal with them quickly with the grenade launcher, but sometimes they come in, sometimes they don't. But that's the danger of the grenade launcher in this mission.
Where are these explosives?
Is you're running around. And the other unfortunate thing is that right after this mission is Area 51 Rescue. The rescue. Which is usually our first pain point. I think both of them, no, one of them was still alive. Which is usually our first pain point of the run. Pain point being something that we reset on often. Usually this part. Only takes us 1 or 2 try. I think you only got 2 of them again. You sure? Okay. Yep, there he is. Good.
What are you waiting for?
Well done. I think you left, you've been missing on all of them. Normally it takes like 1 or 2 shots to actually blow that up.
The temperature's dropping. You must be close to the cryo room.
Understood.
The other thing you have to be careful with the Super Dragon is explosions is they will stack on each other, in that if you trigger one explosion with the Super Dragon and then immediately shoot another round, it will shoot into that previous explosion. And no, just back off. Like we saw there. And you can basically chain explosives back to yourself, which is not a great thing to do. I think you're fine.
Yes, heavy recycling. Must be near the autopsy lab.
We will clear that again. You're doing great. Give it a reload after this. Don't stand in the doorway. You got it. There have been a number of times where we stood in that doorway trying to fire a second grenade shot at that turret and just blown ourselves up in a different place. It'll look right. No. Well done. I think you got both of them. Pardon me. I apologize for that. Should have had my phone on me. We'll perform this bit of trickery again.
Now, if I can convince someone to part with their
He will sometimes answer the door if you shoot at it, but he doesn't always do that. That guy will sound an alarm, so we do have to shoot him, unfortunately. But it is... rather annoying because he does not lock on. So you see down the bottom there, we now have 1 minute and 30 seconds to get to the autopsy lab. Put on the lab clothes, become unarmed, and actually enter the autopsy lab. What are you doing, buddy? Are there... No. You sure? Only when you come out, yes. So. They will finally let us into the lab because we're wearing lab clothes. This guy is always punched out with 1 hit, so you can steal his gun. Blow up that scientist, aim at the ground there to shatter the glass. Shoot him. Grab his key card, which will spawn the guards, who should be opening the door. Oh, you got them before they open the door. And then I think that was all of them. And give yourself a sanity check before you... Dun 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 dun. Now we enter the... Where did you come from? Now we enter the final room of the game where we do something of a trick. You don't know why, but if you destroy those 2 divider office things, it will make all the enemies in this room run to the back of the room for some reason, where we can shoot them much more easy because they will come straight at us. Grab their ammo and move on to the final 4 enemies of the run. These 4 guards. The last of which you kill will have the keycard on him, and now you're home free. As long as you don't grenade yourself in the face. Done. Easy peasy. You're at 1 hour. You're doing fine. So, this is the first pain point of the run, as we've called it. We're trying to escape with Elvis and Jonathan, and the level itself is pretty short, but there are a number of annoying mechanics with this level, starting with actually escorting Elvis here in his very, very long box, which we will release if we hit the B button, making it so we can't reload when we're trying to kill those first 2 guards. These 2 guards are incredibly annoying. They will usually hit us. You might see it when we come back here. They are perfectly handed to hit us. There's a little trick here. We show ourselves to this guard, start switching through weapons, try to get him in an advantageous position, and blow up a remote mine there. I don't think you got the second one. I hate to play silly buggers. It's a lot of damage. Just plot again.
That smell. Oil. The other hangar.
Supposed to, during that part, throw mine against the wall and catch all three of them as he activates and comes in, but had to improvise a little bit. This section's pretty fun, where we're going to be moving rapidly through the rest of the base to go find Jonathan, grenading all the way this guy around the corner while we open this door and grab the alien medkit, and then go through 1, 2, 3, 4. Doors before we complete that section and find Jonathan, who gives us one voice line. We move away, move back in to trigger the second one, blow up those reinforcements before backtracking all the way back to the room where we had the mines in, but not before turning right here to blow up all of those guards. There are 3 sections where they spawn about 4 guards. We bounce a grenade off of this wall to kill that guard who has spawned there. Move across this bridge, and there's 4 guards remaining in this room, but they are perfectly placed for boom. So we'll usually do that in under 3 minutes, but Jonathan's AI is a bit pants, so we will have to wait for him to run to us. Oh, he's fairly cooperative today, but I think he has a friend. No? We have to move into the room so that he will actually come in and trigger the next bit, which is some exciting music while he excitedly stands at a wall and does nothing, and we excitedly stand in a doorway and watch for that far door to open, which will spawn a bunch of guards, who we will easily dispatch by shooting a grenade at the ground. We've seen walkthroughs as well as other videos that say guards come from the other door, but in our experience we've never had any guards during this point come from the other door. Now comes the hard part of the mission, as well as the annoying part of the mission. So he's blown open an entrance to the secret hangar. We blow up that guard, check this door, because there are usually guards that have spawned over there. We step into this room, step onto the stairs, which spawns that guard over there. Check this doorway again. Because the guard spawns at this point are absolute jank. There's no other word for it. As you can see by our friend here. Which I think she was afraid of shooting Jonathan. So our goal is we need Jonathan to follow us very quickly. He does have a magnum, but he's kind of an idiot. We want him to follow us and not get stuck on the stairs. But we have to get him down here, open the door. He doesn't come in the first time. We have to make him come in, administer the alien med pack, switch back to the super dragon, get under the stairs, and try to deal with whatever guards have spawned in while the alien med pack has been administering. I think a guard spawned in there, yeah. We want Jonathan to be in that room, if at all possible, because of that. He will stand there and just take bullets from guys on the stairs, which is not ideal. And then he just runs around like an idiot. Come on, come on, come on, Elvis. Go, 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 go. Start the conversation. There we go. Oh no. Fine, it's fine. You kill him.
It's the only way out of here.
Good. Switch back.
You're the only one who can fight on this city. But we can't leave you behind. There must be a way out of here.
This is that hover bike. We head up here, and we're going to perform a little trick where there are two ways out. I don't like what I'm hearing. Start the music, 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 start the music. Is he stuck? Good. You're good. It's done. It's over. Oh, that's the first pain point cleared. We're so happy about that.
Agent Dark and Berserk.
But if you liked resets, I have good news for you. This is another very nice reset heavy point. I need to go back and explain the rest of that. We were doing a trick where there are two ways to exit that level. Either on the hover bike or we get out on the ship while Jonathan opens the hangar doors. And we chose to fool the game a bit in that we made it think that Jonathan was opening the doors, but we just went around and opened them quickly. Now we're on to Air Force One. Missed the cycle, but trigger her, yeah. Where this level is fairly short, but is the first appearance of K7 Avenger Guards, which we picked up that gun in level 1-2, and I briefly mentioned how it's a very powerful gun. On Perfect Agent, they will, if they stare at you and get a full burst off, they will just kill you 100% to 0. The best thing we can do is try to steal some dragons from the friendly guards, who will all immediately die anyway. These guys in white are the friendly guards, who are supposed to be security for this place. We have to wait for this guy to actually look and talk to us, otherwise he will rotate with us, and we won't be able to get behind him in order to grab his gun, throw it into that corner. You should be able to grab this guy's gun. But you don't have it? Did you not pick it up? You can pick it up. That's fine. Just go. But there's, a lot of stuff going on. In particular, once we set our suitcase down there, we start a timer of 30 seconds. I don't think you have enough time. 3, 2, 1. Nope. We start a timer of 30 seconds where we have to get to that console and activate it. Otherwise, they will detect our equipment in the suitcase. And this is probably a reset. But got him. You can keep going. That can attract the other guy? Maybe. You're low on health now is the only thing. But we were not fast enough to actually touch the console beforehand because we were throwing dragons in places. The dragons in certain places will explode when the K7 Avenger Guards spawn, hopefully thinning out their number and making it so we have to fight less than normal because they are incredibly deadly. But thankfully this mission is pretty short, so resets aren't too bad. The next pain point that we'll experience is, if you've recently seen Jake's Perfect Dark video, like I have, is Confrontation, which is, we have done pretty well. We have an okay strategy, but it's not great. It's still a pretty hard level with lots of hard guards. But it's still not the worst mission in the game. So make sure he's talking to us.
Hey.
Grab his gun. I think your hands are still nervous. But we have a dragon to throw there now. We tap this guy because he will reveal us. That was perfect. But he might trigger that one in the corner. That's fine.
Hello.
We trigger that console, run around. Getting behind that guy immediately kills him. And now we go to the K7 part. Where these guards are incredibly deadly and difficult. It looks like that one went off. The one at the top of the stairs went off. You didn't grab another dragon. There's a guard behind us. You're just gonna try to quick draw him. You'll see us start to make, especially at this level, much more use of the firing cycles, where we have to wait for. Yes, grab that dragon. There should be one guard around the corner. Doing good, doing good. There's 3 guards in here. Where we have to, if we see them taking up the firing solution, we will have to wait until they're done before we can move in. Otherwise, we will start to take lots of damage. I think you Terminated. Terminator is what we use for a certain animation they have where they level their gun at hip, start walking forward, and do not stop firing for a good 10 to 15 seconds. That dragon exploded behind us, but you got another one. Regardless of how much ammo the gun is supposed to have. And it's very deadly, very dangerous, and they can do it with pretty much any gun. We always check right coming out of that doorway. Because there can be a guard there who will just 100 to 0 you. But we call this elevator. And if you've played this game extensively before, you may know that there are 2 exits to this level. One if you go underneath Air Force One, and one if you just get on the shuttle. But as you can see when this door opens, there's a bunch of guards and lasers underneath Air Force One, so we don't want to go that way. So we just gently close that door and we'll take the other one. Because this lets us just walk onto the shuttle and be done. Now that does mean that when we start this next mission, we're on the opposite end of the plane and have to walk all the way over there. We'll lose about 30 seconds doing this every time. There will probably be 1 or 2 resets on this level, but it's not so bad. We open this maintenance hatch, go downstairs, go down the stairs. Walk to the other end of the plane, and we are looking for the steward to actually spot us. There will be a man in this next room who will say, hey, that's not... we want him to actually spot us, because when we go into this, this guard would go through the animation of pulling out a cyclone and usually not shoot us, but he was quick draw that time. But that gets us a cyclone early, which we like. But then we have to punch him out, unfortunately. We'll drop this hover bike for confrontation before we activate this dumbwaiter and crouch down for it to come up. We want him to actually see us so we get the cyclone, but also so any guards we come across as we go up to the president's room will go through the animation of pulling out their own cyclones, which will save precious seconds when, surprise, the ship is taken over by terrorists. And it may save their life or allow them to get a kill on the terrorists. I assume that you have some. We have no idea why he says assume. We also have to stare at him while we're talking to him. We open this door and watch a cutscene before we start sprinting. We pull out our cyclone and try to move very fast to get over here, shoot this guy, pull out not our laptop gun, that wastes so much time. Our timed mine, which we throw down in there. We have our cyclone equipped. We're going to lose voice here for a second, I apologize. Sorry, we had people moving around, but no problems. We managed to get to the cockpit in time, but unfortunately, the guards in the first room failed. Left some enemies alive who managed to kill the president, and you saw Objective 3 failed there. So we had to restart. But there's a couple things going on there. As soon as we detonate the timed mine in the, I believe it's called an umbilical. He's fast again this time. As soon as we detonate the timed mine in the umbilical, the terrorists will kill the pilots, meaning we have to race up to the cockpit and turn on the autopilot. But when we do that, the only thing left to do is to move back through the plane, and in particular, turning on the autopilot when we go back to that big room with the staircase that we're about to enter into here will detonate the umbilical, preventing more enemies from spawning throughout the level, which is good.
Mr. President, you're in danger. Trent is trying to kidnap you.
You can't make accusations like that without evidence. I assume that you have some.
I assume that you have
This
some.
is a recording of a meeting between Trent and the other conspirators.
It seems overwhelming. I'm in your hands. What do we do now?
So we try to move fast, and there's something kind of glitchy with timed mine. There you go. There's something kind of glitchy with the end of that cutscene. And pulling out your weapons, where it's like you have to wait for the actual end of the sentence before you can pull out your weapons. And so normally the president is right behind you and there's no problem, but I think he got stuck on something. We go left here because that's the path enemies will usually try to take. But should be an explosion. There it is. And that should take out any remaining K7 guards before we move on to the most dangerous room in the game, which we have to approach from a specific angle. There are two, if you remember that big guy, Mr. Blonde, there are two of him in this room, which is strange. And you'll be able to see it here. Are you going to take it? He has a lot of health. Thankfully, the ones here are scripted completely. You can see him not taking, or not flinching there, is what I mean to say, and taking quite a few bullets. Went too far. But thankfully, he is scripted to, let's close it, fire off a burst and then immediately go into reload animation, which we can then take advantage to kill him. Nicely done. Is that, in all the excitement, I couldn't remember if that was 4 or 3. I think it was 4. But the president gets into the life pod, and we complete anti-terrorism, whichever one. And now we move on to the second pain point, which is, it's not fun. Everything except the final part is usually pretty predictable and pretty mapped out. We killed this one guy to get a K7 and immediately switch to it. They give you, I think, it's a laptop gun in this mission, and sorry, our genuine N64 has some problems with the hover bike, so do not adjust your sets. That's fine.
There's the escape pod.
Touch it. But don't get off. You have to hit B to touch it, but B is also action, reload, everything. Get off the hover bike. Before we enter this corridor. Reload. Only one bullet. I think he was. So we originally did a strat that had us take the hover bike down to the cave, but we switched to this strategy, which has us crouch all the way down, line up a shot, and take care of these guards, who, killing those 2 guards will always trigger 2 more guards, because reasons in this level. We're not sure why. But that should get us a generous amount of ammo, as well as eliminate those guards for later, when we are moving through towards the final objective. We take this path down to the cave, where we will see 2 Mr. Blondes in the distance before we activate our night vision. And now we wait for them to pop around the corner. 1 and then 2. He's dead. I don't think you got the other one. Before we take out our remote mine, I think Jake mentioned this in his run. We throw a remote mine here, immediately detonate it to kill the president. And then we have to deal with the remaining Mr. Blondes, of which there are 3 over there. And this can get hairy. There are also guards that patrol the tunnel on our right that we can aggro. Either you got him or he's not triggered. You got him. I see 2 dead there. We move around to this remaining oblivious Mr. Blonde. We are good in tapping the head. We are good. We move into this tunnel, remove our night vision, and equip our remaining 2 remote mines. This is a tricky part of the run. I don't think you got them. That's 4. Where we have to use the remote mines to blow up all those things before we tap Trent with the disarm to steal his golden gun. And we move into this tunnel where we turn around and make sure the president is following us. There he is. And we move into this giant wide open area with enemies that spawn in random places and you have no idea where they are. They have long sight lines. Can shoot you whenever you want. The president is very slow. I don't know where he is. Is he behind you? I have no idea. Just move. Fine. Oh, this will save you. He's behind you, yeah. Just go, just go. Someone is shooting at us that we have no idea where. But we just have to get the president to there and then not get shot by whoever is shooting us. As we move on to the final objective, there he is. Nope, still not. You got him. This is the final objective, which is to destroy the jamming ship, which is on another area of the map. Take the second tunnel, not the first one. That has a bunch of winding, twisting paths leading to it with guards that patrol, but most importantly, guards that patrol can hear you fighting someone and then sneak up behind you and kill you as they run to you without ever letting you know that they've been alerted. So there should be one guy here. I don't like this. I don't hear anything. And there are points where they can like hop up terrain or hop down terrain, which is very dangerous for us because that means they can come from unexpected angles where, oh, there's only one approach to this place. We think guards can only come from here, but then they, as you're standing on that cliff, for example, they'll show up behind you and just murder you. So I don't know where the top guard is on the right. But I think you just go. There should be 2 guards in this tunnel. But this tunnel is very advantageous for them. There's also, like, the tunnels aren't solid. We just passed it there, but there's a gap in the tunnel. And we think that contributes to the alerting of guards. So this is the area with the turrets and the ship. And there is a better approach.
The jamming, it's coming from that ship.
On the right there. You won't be able to see it, unfortunately. You could just switch to the sniper rifle. This is the golden magnum that we stole from Trent. It kills everything in one shot. That's both ships. Just go, just go, just go. Including the jamming ship. And we're done. Pain point 2 done. You're killing it. And now we're on to one of our favorite levels, Pelagic 2. Because it actually worked that time. You can slap that guy and he, for whatever reason, just sometimes doesn't go down with a slap to the back. I think Jake, oh no. Off to a great start. Just close it, just close it. So there's, this is really the only danger of, oh sorry. This is really the only dangerous part of the run is because there's only one door. Where you, I think you ran out, you know. You lost a lot of health there.
They'll be unable to conduct operations without any power.
He's down. You come upstairs? No, he's shooting you through the floor. I think you restart. Okay. We're going to restart just because we lost so much health. That's the only real dangerous door in the run, because they can stack us there, stack up there. We don't really have enough CMP ammo to deal with them all, which would make it rather trivial as we lock on. And we only have the Falcon 2 here, really, which 8 shots is a lot, but not enough. Setting off the alarm isn't, like, mission-wise that big of a deal. All it will do for us is spawn additional guards in one room. Look behind you. The 4th objective room, which isn't so bad. And maybe that's what spawns these guards in here. I don't know. Probably because you usually don't see them. Do you want to just switch to? We're gonna switch to the CMP to. He didn't actually move. So, learned something new, I guess. Apologies if this makes anyone motion sick. But we have to use the X-ray vision to turn off the reactor here. By hitting those 4 panels and coming downstairs to touch that button, which we could never figure out as small children. And the secret to this level is turning left here and actually going up this way rather than trying to deal with that other room. Open this door and stand in it. These scientists will try to run out. And you can just punch them in the face as they run to you, which is very satisfying. Or there's just one guy in here, so you just punch him out. And then, yeah, you're going the right way. Go out here. Switch to the Falcon 2 silencer for this guy, because we can tap him in the head before switching to the CMP. Because his friend is very unpredictable, so we usually need to lock on to kill him. Sometimes you need to go forward in order to trigger him. He's probably one of the more damaging, one of the people who've taken the most damage from. We need one of these guys to turn everything off, so we tell this guy to do it, so we can lock onto that guy and stare at this guy, because one of them will betray. But the other guy didn't show up. I apologize. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to put my phone on mute, because I am getting huge stink eye. There we go. It's over. It's done. That completes objective 3, and we're going to go and complete objective 4, which involves us moving through this room. And if the alarm is actually triggered will depend on if someone moves through the other door at the other end of the hall. But normally if you're standing here, they won't, because it's technically out of range for them. We move from there to this corner where these 2 guys are, and they both have the, I don't think I've explained that yet. In most of the most of the rooms that have alarms, there are a set of... The guards will have a set pattern of guards 1, 2, and 3, for lack of a better term, and they will go for an alarm. I didn't explain that very well. For example, if there's 3 guards, there'll be 1 guard who's programmed to immediately run for the alarm. If he dies, then that responsibility will get sent to the second guard in line, etc., etc. If you know that pattern, you can take out the guards in a certain order in order to actually stop them from actually ever triggering the alarm. You saw it in the G5 building. So that's the objective 4 room that I was talking about, where... I don't know, but he called again. We may have to take a call here in a second, but I apologize. Pardon me, I've lost my train of thought. Those are the 4 guards that spawn if you trigger alarm. If you don't trigger alarm, those guards aren't there, and it's a little bit faster, but we don't care too much. Don't forget about him. If you stealth kill this guard with a headshot here, it doesn't alert the guards in the next room. And this is the most dangerous staircase on the ship, where we take out that guard with a headshot through the door and get a lock on the next guard, whose AI sends him down the stairs before he comes back up, and we shoot him. And now we sort of wait. There's 4 guards down there, and if we, were to look in our inventory, we have what are called N-bombs, or these giant explosive grenades that would be perfect to throw down the stairs and kill the guards down there. However, because we have completed all 4 guards, if you remember back to Area 51 and that alien that we rescued, who was very slow, his name is Elvis, by the way, he's now standing directly underneath that staircase, and so if we throw an N-bomb down there, it will kill him, which is very unfortunate. It means we have to actually kill those guards with a gun, which is very dangerous. But however, this one we can demonstrate throwing an N-bomb down there, which I'm sure is very fun, and those guards are having a party. Party's over, we come down here, shoot this guard through here, make sure he's actually dead, activate... Oh. No. Thought we were going to shoot Elvis there. The CMP also locks onto friendlies. You saw the blue outline there, and it will have the exact same functionality as targeting onto an enemy, and you can just shoot Elvis and kill him. But now the level's pretty much over, because we're going to do a little trick here. I believe Jake's run ended on the Pelagic 2, so he didn't get to see this. If you've played this level before, you know that there's, I think the guide we were looking at called them the Golden Hallway, where you have to move through a series of close quarter combats where you're popping heads through windows, all these guards. But if you just come up here and use the X-ray scanner, you can press that switch, which opens this lift door, and you can just come in here and complete Objective 5 and complete the level. And that's it. So we move on from Pelagic 2 to Deep Sea, which is a bunch of bullshit thrown at us. The first of which is enemies that are invisible, have shields and shotguns, and like to run around. Thankfully, we have Elvis, who has pretty much God tier aim. But getting him to actually shoot is one thing. You can't really see it because of the IR, but these guards have shields and shotguns. The shields mean that they will not react to our bullets to actually stop shooting, which is rather annoying. There's 4 in here, and the second part is done. Very nice. The second annoying part is they will quite frequently not glitch out, but they'll, as that guy does, they'll run off to where we can't see them, and then I missed both times. Ooh, did you just... I think we just tagged Alice in the head, but that's fine. And what is he doing? Sorry, there's a bit of strangeness going on there. He's not supposed to go through that door. And people are going to be moving around here in a second, so we will lose voice for a second. I apologize. As we move through, I don't think he's dead, but wants to follow. That's fine. Give me 1 second. Need to do something personal. Hello, we should be back. I'm very sorry about that. It was rather annoying and was not permitted to be allowed to be till later. Now we're trying to get back into the swing of things, where these little light things that we're hitting are actually switches to open these doors. There are 3 of them. The last one should be right there. Swap, yeah. Are they gonna... Oh, they're actually... Ooh. That's a fake Mr. Blonde, so we don't have to be too careful. He has, like, no health, as you just saw there. But these guys, for whatever reason in this mission, sometimes are just standing at the top of the stairs. Because this mission is kind of very strange. Now we're racing against the clock, basically, to get out of this area as Elvis activates these teleporters. There we are. Because once those teleporters have been reactivated, it spawns invisible guards at the entrance to that tunnel. And they're kind of jerks. Ammo is relatively precious in this mission. We hit. So we try to take out the guards with as few bullets as possible, but the guards in this room especially love to take long circuitous routes that the CMP's target focus doesn't really work on, or rather has trouble tracking, as opposed to dead-on routes like that guard did. Like this guy, we have to wait until he pretty much stops running in order to actually hit him. But clear those 2 rooms, and then we move into the, I think it's a power generation or something room, where we are now going to be destroying these pillars and moving through a series of rooms that contain our first glimpse of the Skedar in the form of mini Skedar, which Elvis is both fighting behind us and will encounter here, trying to shoot the tiniest object with what is essentially a bolt-action rifle, before turning left here and taking out the first turret. And we have to pretty much aim... Oh, that's not good. Got it. He only took 2 hits. Elvis is a pain and a boon in this mission, as we saw, because of his godlike aim. There's a bunch of mini Skedar in this room that will shoot and will hopefully be killed by that explosion, but usually 2 or 3 will follow us. We'll try to shoot before getting stuck in that pillar, and hoping Elvis could shoot them. He's much more effective at taking them out than we are. This gun is not very fun to use, but we're trying to use it throughout this entire section. Should be one, just to avoid having to switch. And then this is the one who gets blown up. It is also important to make sure that you wait for the pillar to completely explode and not run in the room while it's still exploding and take damage. We passed a room on our right that's locked until we destroy that pillar, come forward here, and the game starts to lag. I wonder why. Oh dear. But we hope Elvis can take care of those, which he's usually pretty effective at, while we go back to this door that was previously unopened, switch to... I think everyone who's played this game remembers this view. the secondary function of the sniper rifle, which is target locator, which is to look through walls and wall hack. They place a mini Skedar in front of those final two. I think that's the super weapon power generator thing, something. For it to lock on for you to shoot through the walls. There's two half Mr. Blondes here. They are not the real threat. The real threat is shooting Dr. Carroll there accidentally. Because he will immediately die and then you fail the mission at this point, which is the exact end of the mission and the most dangerous part, where you don't forget to turn on your IR scanner. You open this door, try to grab as many as you can. Before he's dead. I only counted 3 or 4. And we will probably lose voice here again in a second. I apologize. Sorry, people running around in the background. And now this. This is the worst level in the game. It is absolutely awful. We have some strategies for it, but they tend to not work most of the time. The first things that we have to do is run around the base and activate these 3 turrets in certain spots. 1 second. But we're activating turrets in certain spots while there are guards, enemies, and our guards spawning and fighting each other in those certain spots. So it can be that the K7 guards, who are the enemies, overwhelm our guards and just kill them, and are waiting for us as we turn the corner there and completely destroy us. It is essentially random whether our guards win or not. Now we have to move up into the 2nd floor and save some hostages. No luck, but we might get the voice line.
Quick, let's get to the hangar.
He has a female voice line, which is kind of funny. This guard in front of us, his gun always jams, so we go for the guard on the right before turning and killing him to save that other hostage. And here's the glitchiest part, is we are going to kind of sequence break the level by shooting the Devastator at that wall and destroying Carrington's porn stash. Which completes objective 4, which we're not supposed to have done yet. He got in. And sort of sequence breaks the level. You'll probably see it here in a second. We have a couple working theories with this level. We think there are guards that spawn based on time, and we think there are guards that spawn based on objectives. You should start seeing them. There they are. So the Mr. Blondes are, we think, the objective guards. Who spawn after the completion of Objective 4. And this is the weird bit we're not exactly sure on. Is they have kind of weird triggers. I don't know where he got it from. But we're looking to basically have them. I think you only got 3. I don't think they're all going to come. Ideally, we will be looking for all of them to show up at the bottom of this elevator and allow us to shoot them, because they cannot shoot us, they can't hit us when we're up here and they're down there. We found. I think you go for it, but I think they're going to be there still. We're looking for about 5 of them to show up. I think we only got about 3. Which will lead to problems later, but we're going to try to move through the level anyway. But you may fail based on hostages, because they got her upstairs. Oh no, you got it. We take the combat boost here, because there is a man who immediately comes in, and that. We try to use the boost to try and slow him down so we can try to kill him, but it doesn't always work. We have to go again. Give it a second. You have to give... sorry, that's an adult Skedar up there. I think it's a half Skedar. You have to give him a second in order to actually move and look away. Bouncing off of everything. Or look towards that other guard so you can shoot him in the back. Which allows us to take him down much more easily than if he's facing us. But try to complete that by 5 seconds. Try to be at the first door by... is it 20 seconds? And then try to complete everything else by a minute. I think you may be on... no, not on this one. Good. But this mission is essentially random. If we're lucky and we get all 5 Mr. Blondes to come up, we think there's 5, then it's usually pretty completable. But if we don't get all of the Mr. Blondes to come up for whatever reason, usually just based on luck or something, I think you tagged him. Is he? Yeah, he's dead. Then they can be left behind at the final objective, which pretty much means we sort of failed the mission most of the time. Simply because we'll get down there and we haven't picked it up yet, but we are... when we get to the weapons lab, we'll pick up the RCP-120, which is sort of an experimental gun that allows us to turn invisible at the cost of bullets. And so we have a limited amount of ammunition to... check the elevator, check the elevator. Lost my train of thought again. I see 4. That's 5. 6 even. 1 got in. I think he's fully shielded. The other one's still alive. And then you'll have 3-minute guards. One more, yeah. Now you should be good to go. This is looking good. I think we got most of the Mr. Blondes. As well as the other guards. Just A. But I don't know. You're gonna have a hard time with the last guy, I think. You just need to figure him and then. There you go. I think you got it. I think you got it. So we grab the RCP. We have to go into our menu to actually switch to it. Switch to its secondary fire. And cloak. So we've sequence broke the game a bit here, and he's telling us I think you're good. You've got enough ammo, I think you're good. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Up to it. But we have to... Nope, that's the wrong one. You've got enough ammo, you're fine, you're fine. Just let it open. There you go. You're done, you're done. It's free. So, the rest of this game is pretty much free. Carrington Institute is by far the most, not random mission, but most difficult mission. Which is not to say attack ship is not hard. Probably expecting like 1 or 2 failures, and this is a long mission, making them particularly punishing, especially this first part. And I think you're gonna have to, yeah. Ammo is very limited. In this first part, we need to take care of those 3 consoles with those 20 bullets. And only those 20 bullets. There is another Skedar on the other side of this wall that we could try to kill for Mauler, but it won't work. There's something funky with that one. Yeah, you good. We're listening for an audio cue here for the elevator to come back up. But this hangar part is by far the hardest part of this mission. The rest is just very dangerous crawling around the ship and trying to take advantage of Skedar physiology. Get him. We're trying to wait for that guy to put his head down so we can shoot him. We missed, so we have to take the alternate strat of going around to hit that button and go straight into this. That was your first hit, you're fine. So I don't think you shot him. I think he's stuck. You're fine now. So this is supposed to be like a more scripted action sequence that I think might have blown. Where Elvis's goons take care of all of these guys for us. These are all half Skedar, by the way. He's still alive. We are improving out the wazoo here, but these Skedar are both weaker. He's taking a lot of damage. Sorry, there are half Skedar and full Skedar, as we've taken to referring them as. These ones that spawn in the hangar are all half Skedar. All the ones that we've had to fight are full Skedar, with much more health, much more damage, and are less inaccurate than these ones. But Elvis has taken a lot of damage. Still one. What's supposed to happen is... Who's still shooting him? I don't think he's going to have enough health to survive. Yeah. So, we'll probably get to see what's actually supposed to happen this time. The problem is that when you come down from that elevator, there are 2 full Skedar already in the hangar that we have to like run past that are shooting as we're strafing across the hangar. And this guy not supposed to activate on us. But well done. And they are very dangerous to our friends. Let's wait for that audio cue again. Let's see. Those 2 guys. They usually follow us down to the end of this hallway and are either usually trained on us, so we have to, yeah. They're usually trained on us. Got him. Which is fine. We'll probably take 1 hit while we're trying to get Elvis to come forward and give us the AR-34 so we can actually defend ourselves. Or they can do that, which is not very fun. I don't remember them doing that in a long time. But now we should see what this is supposed to look like, where these 2 guys have Callistos, which are very good guns, and they will handle all these half Skedar for us. We will need to keep a weather eye on this elevator as we left that other Skedar upstairs. And that's not good. After a certain number of Skedar have been killed in this sequence, Elvis says that line. And we're going to lose sound here for a second as people move around. I apologize again. But that should be our last interruption. I do apologize for that. But that's the hangar portion of this mission done, which is the most difficult part. And now we move into the more crawly part of it. After picking up as much ammo as we can, we'll mainly be using the Mauler and trying to deal with Elvis. Who's rather annoying. Skedar are kind of dumb and will only activate if they can really see you. Which allows us to basically crawl through this mission. Trying to take them on one at a time. Usually from whatever points you can crawl to. I don't know where his gun went. Did it fall through the floor? I think it fell through the floor. Nope, there it is. So most of the remainder of this mission will be us trying to use corners as much as possible, as well as door frames and everything else to just get a glimpse of the Skedar and shoot them with the Mauler for a one shot. But as I think Jake and I disagreed, the Mauler might be incredibly powerful, but it's also a bit inaccurate, which is annoying. Take the reload. This can be a quick draw. I think he's right around the corner. I don't know where the other one's going to be. There are several of the Skedar that we've called quick draws, where basically you have to... He's fine. You have to open a door and the Skedar will either be charging you, facing away from you. You should be at the end of the hallway. Got him. And you basically just have to react faster than them. This is quick draw 1. He's facing away. Got him. We go through this room into quick draw 2. Who's facing away and should be about there. Well done. That can activate the second one over there sometimes. Standing here activates another Skedar in the room, but they are... Can you hit his hands? You didn't practice, I think. Yeah. That Skedar, who is pretty stupid and will always go to the same two places to shoot, so it will take some time for him to run around. If he's going to close. Nice shot. Tag that one, and this is the engine room where we have to destroy those brown things at the top, but there's one more Skedar in this room who always activates, but thankfully due to a genetic quirk... Oh no. This is the other danger of this room is Elvis. Who will... Okay, good. Well done. Yes, Elvis, it is all going wrong. Mainly because of you. We have to destroy those two pillars, which starts a 10-second countdown, during which we have to hope that Elvis follows us out of the room. He can get stuck. I think you can tag from this angle. I believe he's facing the other way. Yes. Just aim and tag, and then... Yep. You're free. You're home free. The mission is almost free at this point. There's this dual Skedar room, which we take advantage of the fact that Skedar do not activate unless they see you. And will not activate even if you shoot someone else in the room. Who very, very carefully, using our pants aim. They make a noise, but they don't actually activate. Ooh, careful. There you go. In order to take them out one by one, and then beyond this, there we go. It's those two Skedar, and then the bridge is the final part, which is not as bad as all that. They steal that line from Pelagic 2. The most danger will be in on the bridge is Elvis dying, rather than from the Skedar themselves. So we call down this elevator. Again, Skedar are physiologically only right-handed. So we quickly skedaddle into this corner, where we have to crouch and do this and reveal the other Skedar trait, in that whenever they shoot, go tiny, yeah. Whenever they shoot, they tend to take a step forward and move them to the left, which can bring them in range to shoot their guns. One remaining. Don't risk it. Last one. There you go. You're done. We tried to pick up the double mauler here to satisfy Jake, but usually can't find it. Fine. Second shot. And then there's this final sequence, which is not too much danger. We need to kill 5 Skedar, but these are poorly programmed Skedar who basically come in and, as you'll see, are semi-programmed to try to get into melee with Elvis. And Elvis is poorly trained to run around like an idiot and sometimes get shot in the head. But mostly they just run around in circles and you shoot them. And we're done. That's it. Game's free. This is the final level, which is surprisingly actually fun. Not when you do that. So these are melee Skedar. They're incredibly dangerous. They will 3-shot you. I think you did the stagger. They will just restart. Yeah, that's fine. It's the first enemy. But they start out invisible and they charge you. Time for more Skedar anatomy lessons. The whole thing that you see there is actually a biosuit. The real Skedar is this like pink thing that's hanging out the back. You may have seen us tag once or twice in the last mission. Yeah, right side. Then just don't let you John. Not the art tracker. Big pillar room and I think corner. But they have wildly different damage zones. The back of the head, the pink thing, which she can show you after she kills this one, that tail thing there, that's the actual Skedar itself. There's also the head, the front of the head, and then the body, which all have different damage zones, calculations, whatever you want to call them. So if you see them jerk their head, that is a good hit because the head takes more damage, obviously. You can usually never hit the out of bound, didn't you? You can usually never hit the actual Skedar itself except for certain times. But that's fine. But we're mainly looking for them to jerk their heads and take headshots. This is the Callisto, by the way. It's probably the best gun in the game. Yeah, take that.
This seems to be one of the special pillars.
There are 2 places he can spawn. He can either spawn in this tiny room with you. Yes, this is one. or he can spawn back out where he did. We now get to see more examples of excellent Skedar gunmanship. I think you have just corner and then hopefully just big. Where they've not figured out terrain. And we can use the snowbanks to basically nullify all of their shots. We pass by those two. He will start shooting us, but again, they take that step, which can put them on top of the pillar and change our aim. But they're pretty easy. So don't forget corner. And then you don't have to do room. There's a... oh, you do have to do room. Sorry. This is the room. We don't like it because there's 2 Skedar in it, including one who spawns very close. We have to back out, and it's possible to get just a set of pillars that we're throwing these target amplifiers on, where you don't even have to go into that room, which is obviously more optimal. But that's objective 1 complete. Those should be blowing up, as you'll hear in the background. Well, we move on to the next section, which is this cliffside part, with 2 more Skedar in these corners. I don't think he's dead. There you go. And one down here. And we have to take the... Yeah. I believe it is only on perfect agent that you actually have to do this. Again, annoying. You have to shoot the Devastator at that wall to actually blow it up and expose the way to get up there. But you can just hop across the gap up there, but we've come this far. We usually just take the pansy route over here because we're going to be going by and picking up this Reaper ammo anyway. Because we need all the ammo we can get in this level. There's an invisible guy down to the left who spawns in very close, so we switch back to the Callisto to take him out with a few bullets before we switch back to the Devastator and take out this wall. And the grenade was headed right for us. We turn on the IR scanner here. And we move through the baby hallway where there are a bunch of these little mini Skedars. Should be 2 here. Before we open this door to the greatest puzzle room in the history of puzzles. Which I believe will take you ages and ages. Figure out. No, we don't get the Phoenix guns. We don't really need them. He says, supremely confident. I don't think we've ever gotten them before, so I don't think we know where they are. Nope. Getting a shaking head now. We know they're there, but we've never gotten them. We just have to complete that incredibly complex puzzle to get that bridge to move. Where we get to the second to final part of the mini Skedar. There should be 3 that spawn in here. And we're just a bit lazy to take out those 3. Before going to the final part of the mini Skedar, waiting for this one to turn the corner. I think you just don't let it touch you. Just don't let it touch you. And then we've talked about this in a couple of previous practice rounds. We think there's triggers for these mini Skedar, so we should see, we think there's triggers to actually spawn the mini Skedar. And if you step back over them, then it will spawn another one, which is annoying. This part is terrifying because we're dealing with rocket launchers that can kill you in one hit, also known as Slayers. If you're familiar with that sound, it's terrifying. This one's even closer. But we got him. One last use of the Falcon 2. We kill that Skedar up there. Oh, definitively says he's not dead yet. Now he's dead. Make sure to pick up both the Slayers before we move forward. Make our sacrifice to the God of War of the Falcon 2. Which will allow us to get access to the Inner Sanctum. You have both rockets. This. And, I mean, should be free at this point. We got this. There's two final objectives. Defeat the secret Skedar army. And then the actual final boss, who should be a pushover. I think his weapon fell down, but it's fine. This part is somewhat difficult, but it's the same pattern every time. You forgot to do IR. A secret army in suspended animation. And 1-1. Yeah, 3-2. Bar 1. And these are all half Skedar, like we've talked about previously, and they die in just a few hits. 3. So they're, in addition to being wildly inaccurate, also die very quickly. Wow, taking a hit from the Skedar army. That's the fourth objective completed. All that's left is the final boss. We will grab a bit of ammo here. We usually don't need it, but it's just depending on how much Callisto we've used up to this point. We might end up needing it. There are spawns that the boss will do that will drop maulers for free ammo, so should you ever run out of ammo, there's something you can grab in there. But is it? It's all you. You got this. We'll open with a Slayer to take down the boss's shield.
Okay.
Which the objective of this boss is to force him to take down his shield. So he goes to the center there, and the shield surrounding the objective there falls away, and we can shoot it. We're aiming for those 4 cross pieces to take down first, and then the final bit. He has basically 3 things he does, which is rockets, which we want, spawning enemies, which is annoying but handleable. He spawned a mini Skedar. And as you'll see, it throws out a mauler there. Rockets are the best because we can A, shoot them while they're in midair to blow them up and take down his shields, as well as they're easily dodgeable. Another spawn in, but he's vulnerable. No, take the spawn, take the spawn. It's free, it's free. You're done, you're done. Time. You did it. You did it. A half hour. A half hour off of your time. So, enjoy this glorious ending to this very fun game.
Elvis, over here.
Over here.
No problem. Grab my arms. We'll get you out in no time.
No, quick.
Give me your gun. Will you just let go? So, I got to watch Vummer do a bit of her playthrough of Mass Effect, and I definitely think the ending of Mass Effect 1 was definitely stolen from this game.
Of course, Joanna. Of course. No, I would have.
I believe you.
Where it's Shepard, right? Yeah. Where Shepard climbs out of the wreckage. Definitely stolen from this game. But that is Perfect Dark. We can enjoy this sweet 90s guitar riff credit sequence with some great titles that are fun. Like Well-Packed Man. What does that mean? We don't know. Guns and visual. I'm not saying that word on the internet. And the sound geezer. No, there's one we're looking for that is like the gun their gun consultant. And we don't know what an Aquam is. That doesn't seem like a real title. There it is. Chris Darling, the weapons specialist, where we definitely think he came into work with a suit and tie every day, and then they're in the credits like, Jonathan Nasty Mummery's going to be mover and shaker. What do you want to be in the credits? And he just says, just put me down as the weapons specialist. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's our headcanon for everything here. She's still dancing, so you just have me for right now. Now I'm getting the finger because I told everyone that she was dancing. But no, this is fun. Well, it's dominated fun for the past couple weeks, so I think we're both looking forward to not playing this game for a while. Oh, I think they want you to kill someone. Are there rules? I think if we click off, then it will stop the awesome music, so we can wait. So, I'm getting a message. Once the credit's over, we'll kill someone. Or stab someone, and you use the sword, whatever. Yeah. Once the credits are done. Not kill, just smack and get some blood on the sword. I don't know. I'm not very good at internet lingo. But all done. What's next? I don't know. I have no idea what's next, and she just shrugged, so. But I don't have anything else to say, so When she's ready, she'll come over and type. No, I'm not doing it again. She can do it again. But we also think that they didn't know how to actually like go back to the main menu with this game. They only knew really how to send you into the next mission, because you'll see at the end of the credits, it's like go to the next mission, and then it's just the logo that loops infinitely. And you have to actually like reset the game. A slappers only run. Slappers are in 64. You actually have to punch. Oh, you. Oops. No, you have to. Yeah, there you go. No, pause it. You're ruining the time. What have you done? Oh, it was delayed coming out of the thing going into the stream. Well, he ruined the time. It was awful. So now I think you've made Jake an editor of this channel. So when we stop the stream, the VOD should be done. And he can pull it because he needs that for his archives. Is my understanding of it. What I was told. He says, yep. So, okay. So, enjoy this chill music as the logo goes, and then I think we will end the stream. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Coming from me, I really appreciate it. Vummer does too. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's very late for the Euros. So thanks for sticking around. But we will hopefully see you again later. Have a good night or a good evening.